right, Sunday fun day has begun. So what are we picking on, or what are we picking on? What are we working on today? We got two choices, right? We either got a chopped 50 shoebox or we got a 55 Chevy somewhat gasser look car. I always say somewhat look gasser only because to me a true gasser is a straight axle, plexiglass, no interior, one seat, you know, gutted. That's the real deal. And then there was the things that came out later in life they called street freaks. Believe it or not, you can look it up. And they were cars that, you know, were hiked up, but they had interior, they had all the stuff, and they had all the weird fancy paint jobs on them, I guess, and shit like that. And the guys were driving them on the street, right? Probably still racing them too, but you're gonna build a true gasser, you build it all the way. Like I say, if you're gonna build something for the strip, you got it, you make it for the strip, right? You either make it that way or you just don't, or you do whatever you want, I guess. Some people build a car to drive on the strip and to drive home every day, right? So, but anyway, I call it a gasser because I'm not putting a straight axle, I'm just hiking it up in the front end. A lot of cars back then were, and so that's why it gets that label. But today we're gonna pick on the old 55. So we saw in the last video, I got the shoebox running and I gave her a bath and she's tucked away here in the garage for a couple days anyway. And yeah, so today's gasser day. So shoebox is sitting over there, all washed and cleaned up. Gasser's here. So what we're going to do today is attempt to get this quarter off. So I told you I do have another quarter that came with the car. So I'm just getting stuff set up. So I started putting some bracing in here and there for when this isn't really due to the quarter, this is for when I take the floors out, but I started putting the bracing in now. But this does help out with the quarter panel a bit, because this quarter is so, well, let's face it, rotten. It's moving around. So I did brace it up where it should be, in between, and now it's not moving. So we're going to start to cut that off. I don't really plan on putting the new one on today because I know once I cut this off, which you guys are going to see in this video, I'm sure at some point, we're going to find rust in behind here. So, and if we don't, well, I'll be amazed. So with that being said, I'm going to, there goes that fancy paint that everyone says don't get rid of it. But you can see it's cool. But there's not a lot of it left. It's gone here. It's gone on the fenders. It's just gone. It's whatever. I'll keep this. Can always try and recreate that pattern again. That is like a 60s pattern, maybe even early 70s. It is unique, but you just can't drive the car like this. Like, look at it. You can't, like, there's this, look at, there's nothing. You can't drive it. You drive down the first burnout you do, the fucking quarter panel will blow off. So anyway, let's get some tools set up and let's get to it. Oh, what do they say? The first cut is the deepest. Wow. Wow, wow. Wait till you guys see this. Look at this. Wow. This is your floor. It's supposed to be sitting upright, and this attaches to the, you know, to your back of your quarter down below, but that obviously ain't there. And we can see, just like I said, we're gonna have rust. There we go. So you think you're gonna be putting a quarter panel on here today? No. And I'm gonna clean all this up in here. I'm gonna, you're probably gonna ask what I'm gonna do. I've got a spot blaster. You know, I got a spot blaster, I got a wire, I drill with wire wheels on it, so I'll wire wheel it, get the heavy shit off, push it outside there out in the driveway, spot blast it. I don't have a big blaster here. Clean that up. And then, how are we looking here? Yeah, that's your, see the thing is on 55 Chevys, your outer wheel tub never connected to the quarter panel inside. They had a piece of rubber that sat up on there, and this thing sat, I don't know, I'm gonna guess a quarter-inch to a half-inch away from there. So usually, very seldom, these didn't rot, right? It does have something missing here though, but I won't know until I get that cleaned up. I might be, there's the rubber right there actually. See, there's your rubber. It's still sitting there. It just sits there. So I won't know until I clean this up whether this is good or needs replacing. We'll go from there, but I got to cut the rest of this panel off. Some people cut it off as a whole panel. I just take it in pieces. It just makes it easier for me. And at the end of the day, it fits in my scrap bin better, to be honest. So the start, the starting has begun here. Like it's just, there we go. Yeah, you can see my window regulator. Oh, nice. Even that's rotten. Broke right there. Don't really care, to be honest with you. I'm going to lose that. I don't want that shit. I'm honestly just going to stick plexiglass in here and glue her in. I'm not worried about rear glass. I'm not making it a true gasser like I said, but I'm also going to lose some weight. No wipers, no heater, no radio. Get rid of the glass there. Front seat only, no back seat. Lose some weight, but nothing major. This is not going to be. This ain't going to be a real quick car. I don't know how quick it'll be. I shouldn't say that, but I'm not putting huge power to it. I'm going to be happy with 450 to 550 horse. That's all it needs from me, right? I doubt it'll even see the track. It's just something I want to drive around town and have fun with. You know what I mean? And if I want to take it on a trip up to the Okanagan, I want to take it where I can somewhat get from town to town and fill it up, you know? So there we go. Anyway, I'm going to continue on here. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. This is your inner fender, and you can, or outer fender, and you can see there's the rubber. It's still on there. So this actually is really solid. There's all the factory old tar, and it is factory because you'd never get up here and tar this once the quarter's on. So that's all factory. So this piece is looking good, and the rubber's still on there. So the rubber's just broken away, and I can see where the staples were all the way. So it's just kind of fucked up right there. I think once I clean this up, I might be able to repair that today. So try and repair that today, clean all this up and get this repaired. So I got more cut off. I'm not going to cut much more off it right now. That's all I'm going to do. I'm a firm believer in cutting just a little bit at a time. What my next step is after I get all that cleaned up, is I would put my other quarter up on here, hold it up, because I got a full quarter that came with it, and I would draw the line out where it's going to be attached. I already looked at it, so I already know it's going way beyond this point. So then I draw my line, then I'll trim it and fit it better. So that's where we're at right now. So now it's just a major cleanup. I'm not worried if I don't get this 100% cleaned up, absolutely perfect. Like to get some of this stuff off, you're going to be chiseling and you know what I mean? If that's on there, I don't care if I don't get it 100% off. I'm going to clean it up, do what I can, and just leave what won't come off. I'll just leave it alone. This is not like a 100-point restoration here. This is get rid of the worst rust, get her on the road, get her driving again, make her look good, done, out the door. So, okay, so I grabbed my trusty scraper. Like I said, I'm only going to knock off what I can, and I scraped up in here first. I'm very happy. Like I say, the trunk and wheel tubs in this car are extremely good shape. Normally these cars are all rotten up in here. And you can see this one is solid. So I scraped it away, most of it laying on the ground, right? I can tell now, I'm looking at this piece here, I'm gonna have to buy these and replace them. I'm trying to save as much money as I can, but I'm gonna buy them. The only reason is, if you can see here, there's rust in behind here. They're like folding out. So drill the spot welds out and get that off. The actual back one is in really nice shape. It's not doing any of that. But I do believe they come as a pair. So my first attempt is, I'm gonna take this one off here today. If I can buy just the front one, that's all I'm gonna buy, because it's all about saving money. But if I gotta get them as a pair, well then I may as well replace the back one. But I'll leave the back one on for now in case I can buy them separately. Like I say, scraping that away. So that means I don't have to worry about this. I quickly was just starting to tidy up in here a bit, because I gotta cut all that out. The back, like you can see, look how thick this shit is. Like, look at it. I mean, it's just tar, man. It was tar back then, look at that. Whether I'm gonna scrape that off or not, I don't know. Honestly, you can see, it's not rotten in there whatsoever. It's solid as a rock. So, I'll see what will come off, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna sit here and spend hours on it, because like I say, that is never gonna rust out in my lifetime anyway. And, well, to be honest, I really don't care what happens after my lifetime. I'm sorry to say, I build it for me. I build it for me now, and to have fun with it. I'm not worried about the next guy. So there we go. So we'll, maybe we'll get the drill with the wire wheel up in here, clean that up a bit. And like I say, I kind of do that, get the worst of it off. Then I can spot blast it with my blaster I have under the cabinet there. And the only reason I don't just blast it right away is all this shit lands on the ground, and I prefer to put a tarp down after I get this done, get all the worst of it off and wire wheel it, then put a tarp down, spot blast it, then I can reuse my sand again. Where if I just hit it with the sand now, all that shit's going in the sand's useless to me. And well, money definitely is an object today. Anywhere you can save money, you want to save it. Okay guys, well, I'm just kind of cleaning up around here. So I still got to cut more this way, but my new quarter's going to be coming up on here. I got the rear windshield out. You can see, and a good thing. No rust anywhere around it. Now there's some drain, I don't know if you can see them. Anyway, down in here there's some drain holes. Always make sure those are clean when you pull the window out. So cleaning that up around where the window came out. And still haven't gotten in here, just like you just saw, I scraped it. I'm going to get in there and clean this a bit more, but yeah, that's what's going on at the moment here. And this whole piece will be coming off when I put the new quarter I got with it on. It's part of it, actually, the one I got, which is good because it's all smashed up in the corner. And then once I get this quarter on, then I can start dealing with the back chunk pieces, which I've got here. I mean, there's one piece here, right there. There's our rocker panel for the passenger side. But yeah, I can start dealing with it in here. As you can see, the trunk floor itself is very solid. In the spare tire well, it's solid. So what it needs is, it needs the outer filler panel. It needs the brace that runs under it, which I have. And I do have a section that comes along in here. It's a floor section, goes here to replace this, because it's got some rot in the corners, in either corner. And that's what all this shit is going on. Someone just poured Bondo in there. So, yeah, hopefully in around 2 weeks from now, maybe 3, I'll have all that done, a quarter on, and a rocker on. That'll be a huge difference. But I'm going to continue sanding away and enjoying myself, I suppose. cutting away, making the, just cutting away this piece in there. You can see that. And I've already got a brand new piece bent up down there. So finish cutting that out and see if the new piece fits. Okay, well it seems to be fitting fine. Slowly welding that piece in. I got the bend on it, as you can see down below here, 1 inch in. So that's good, matches what else was there. So finish welding that up. Then it's almost going to be time to call it quits because it's almost going to be 5 o'clock. Not a bad day. I got started at 10:30 today. I'm going to take an hour break to cut the back lawn and eat lunch. So what did I get in there? Well, let's pretend that it started at 11:30. So 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 12:30. 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours. I got a rear window out, got a quarter panel cut off, and going to have a patch welded in. I'm happy with that. Remember, guys, doesn't matter how little time you get in the shop, something is better than nothing. Every minute adds up to something. Gets you that much closer to having her done. So, get back to it here and finish up welding this. Okay, well that's it for today. So there we go. Big pile of junk laying here. And got that new piece all finished up being welded on down below. So what I did here quickly was, it's bare metal unfortunately for me right now. All my stalls are full, as you can see. So I have to leave this bad boy sit outside, and I don't know if you can tell by the sky, but it's supposed to rain pretty much all week. So all I do is I throw a little bit of, I don't put primer on it. Primer just absorbs water. Primer is alright if it gets a little wet here and there, but it ain't meant to be in water. So I just threw a little bit of Rust-Oleum rust paint on there, flat black, good enough. You know, it's all going to get ground down. I still got to cut more off, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to be texture spraying all in here, so who cares? Who cares? I'm not too worried about it. But there we go. So look at those shackles, eh? Fuck. That's crazy. Oh, as we're speaking right now, I feel the raindrops. Isn't that crazy? Perfect timing. So, one badass big 55 sitting right there. What did we say her name was? Bitchy Bertha? So far she's Bitchy Bertha, but I still am pondering that, whether that's going to be the name or not. You know, I can't really call her Bitchy Bertha. I don't know. She's my car. You know, all us guys love our cars. Why do we call her Bitchy? But that'll all be determined on how she runs when the time comes. Okay. Anyway, guys, hey, that was it. Sunday fun day. Hope you had a good time, and I'll catch you next time. And who knows what's on the... no, there will not be another Sunday fun day next week. I am off camping, so you won't see one next week. But definitely the week after, and we'll see where we'll go. Maybe that week we'll work on the shoebox. We'll see. All right. Always good time at all time. Catch you next time.